It would look probably exactly the same. Lajoie's better, but not quite there, I would say, but maybe available. But I think we waited a long time for him to get a little break, so I think it's with Falk there, it gives us a chance for him to have a break. So, and Falk played so good that, I wouldn't feel very good taking him out.
Is there an update on Mark Bobrovsky?
Yeah, a little longer. Yeah, a little longer. It's going slower than we thought. So he won't. He's not available. I don't.
Just a follow up on that. You don't expect him to go this week at all, or you kind of said last week it's week to week.
It's week to week, but it might be week to week again. So I don't want to. I don't know what he's been told, so I don't want to bring him down either. And but I think right now it's definitely not for tomorrow. Highly doubt for Thursday. After that, I don't know.
That means Anderson starting going. Just want to double check.
Are you really asking that question?
I'm seriously asking that question.
I'm seriously answering you yes.
Have you seen, or how would you explain how your team has given up 2 goals in the last 2 games versus what we were seeing maybe 2 weeks ago? A lot of people are saying it looks like there's more of like an attention to detail, that sort of thing. What would the explanation be for why you guys look better in your own zone?
Well, like I explained before, I mean, it's all tied in. Like we started the year, I knew we were not going to be good defensively, no matter how much time we would have spent on it because of personnel, age, experience, and so on. But you need to have something to hang your hat on and have something that makes you feel good. And I thought if we went and put a lot of time on our offense, we would get our young guys to have confidence, and we would get guys like Stone and Duchesne and those guys who are the leaders of our team to to be able to get our team to have some sort of expertise. And so I think we bet on the right thing, that the offense was there. And the defensive part of the game was extremely dependent on the experience part. And so we knew that at the beginning it would take a long time and it still will take some more time for the young guys to get that experience. And the guys are out of their chair to play against the best players. So that doesn't change. We're still living that process. But what we've done is that it's been 4 games now. It's since the Ranger game. So just before the Ranger game, for us, we started the second step for us where, okay, we know we got some confidence with our offensive game. Now we know we got to grow individually defensively, but as a team, we collectively made it a major commitment to improve in our structure, in our details defensively. And even though we still dependent on individually getting better in the next months, we could still be much better defensively just with our structure. So right now there's a huge commitment. So there was a huge commitment of what we asked for at the beginning, and we got it. And now there's a huge commitment and a buy-in from our players right now to getting better defensively as a whole. And also, Harper came back. Like I've been saying it, like I know sometimes it sounds like an excuse, but when you're missing guys that are giving you a positive side of your defensive game that are not there, it's huge. You're relying on other players that don't have those attributes. Therefore, your 5-on-5, your penalty kill, and all that suffers. And in Harper coming back, he's looking now like he was when we won those 3 games, where he was 5-2, I think 4-1, and we won against LA and Dallas, and we played terrific defensively. So just one guy on defense makes a gigantic difference, because he's there, 20-some minutes on the ice, and so the opponent has to deal with a 6'7" guy that hits, that fights, that has the reach, and that has experience also. So that's gigantic for us. And so him being back, the guys like Shabbat, taking a major leap defensively in the last month, that's huge. And Falk coming in with almost 300 games in the NHL at that size, making a huge difference for us. So that's what's happening right now. There's a personnel side to it, but there's also a real team commitment, very specific one in the last 4 games. So even though we didn't win against the Rangers, we had that commitment. So we could have won that game. So that game for me served to win the next games after that, and it's a real all-in commitment from our players, I would say, right now.
Do you feel like that all-in commitment is key to having more success on the road?
It has to. That's where it's at. If you on the road, you know, the opponent feels comfortable. They give you the matchups that they want. So therefore, you always rely on your quality depth on the road. That's what it is. If you don't have enough quality depth, you can't be good on the road. And that's what we're slowly developing, the depth, because our young guys are getting experience, because guys are added like Harper and Falk right now, and our team commitment is better defensively now. And if you look at our lines, the same thing with our lines right now. You know, I think we've seen 4 lines in the last little while here, like 4 lines that are able to show good stuff on both sides of the ice. And so it's right now the development of the young guys, the development and the addition of our new guys that are starting to get it also defensively, and the fact that we don't have really injuries with the forwards makes a big difference also, not just with our defensemen. But it makes a difference, because then you can keep coming at the opponent with 4 lines rather than 2.5, you know, or young guys that are stuck having to play against players that they shouldn't play against every shift. And so on the road right now, we're going to hopefully keep the lines and you know, able to sustain what the opponent has thrown at us.
What have you seen in Shabbat's game?
In what regard?
That it has made him have success offensively. You've been able to lean on him a lot to play some big minutes. You know, obviously. Yeah,
for sure. There's an increase in his role because he's able to manage it. You know, like it's I would say this guy, it's a week-by-week improvement. I mean, it was like that last year. It's like that this year. He's that good, and he's that committed that every week there's something he adds on to his game. And, you know, I think for me the big thing is his choice of when it's offense and when it's not. That's what he drastically improved in the last 2 years. Like as a young junior player, he was going all the time, and he was so fast that whenever something happened, he'd be the first guy forecheck, and he'd be the first guy back. You can't do that at the pro level, and he's understood that. He's made a major conscious decision and awareness to understand that, and to do it, being that good offensively, and to be able to understand that so young at an age that, you know, right now you're not supposed to be able to take all that he's taken, is impressive for me. And it's not because of his numbers. I know everybody outside is going to look at the numbers, but for me, when I look at the all-around game at that young in his career, like early in his career, that's what's the most impressive for me, not his offensive abilities. We've known he's had that for a long time.
But looking today, I mean, he's a plus player, and I know he's got big numbers, and that would help that skew that number. But he's a plus player on a team.
On the team, and he's a plus player on the team that's was struggling big time defensively. He was playing against top players very often. And there's a lot of good players in the league offensively that are minus on good teams. So it just shows you how committed he is to being good on both sides of the ice.
Do you enjoy going in? Do teams enjoy going into Montreal? I mean, is this?
Oh, it's a great place to play. It's a great place to play. It's when you go into Chicago, it's a great place to play. You're excited. I'm excited about it. You love going into places where the atmosphere is good, and there's history there. So it's always the same. It's always a choice of perspective. You make it something that's positive, or you make it something that's you're fearing. And for me, it's always a choice. You see things as a challenge, or you see them as a threat. I always choose the challenge side. That's why I'm here.